Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ray Auto Horsemanship. I'm Luke Brown. I'm excited to be with you here today on Winning Wednesday. What a beautiful morning we've had so far. I got started nice and early this morning under the lights, and I'm working with a horse right now. His name is Little Man. That's his generic name. He's a registered quarter horse, and he's a 5-year-old, and just got a few issues with not wanting to move forward lightly off of pressure. I'm actually gonna. This is just the third day I've been working with him. He's been ridden quite a bit, and started real well, and he's even able to be like shot off. Somebody could shoot a 22 off of him, and he's quite desensitized. Just want to keep him back there for now. But mainly he's kind of dull to pressure, and even today after I saddled him up, he did try to buck a little bit when I tried to ask him to lope. So, got a few little issues here and there, but I have him for at least 6 weeks, and I think he's going to come along really well. He's starting to get to where when I'm round penning him, he can lope a number of circles without slowing down to a trot. And so I think he has lots of potential. He just needs to learn to move off of that light pressure, and I do that like I mentioned yesterday on Training Tip Tuesday, by increasing my pressure to as much as necessary and then releasing it immediately when he speeds up. So things are going well this morning. It's pretty humid this morning, and it's going to be a nice warm day, and hopefully we get a little bit of rain here in Santan Valley, Arizona. There's quite a few clouds this morning. But today for Winning Wednesday, I've been reading. I started a book this morning called The Compound Effect. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And it's a book that Stacy, my wife, had downloaded to Audible, and I didn't know we had it. I didn't know it was there, and then last night she was asking me about it, and I didn't realize it was on Audible. I looked on there and saw that it was on there this morning. I decided that would be a great book to start to listen to, and it's certainly been an incredible book. And he was talking... He's very direct about the responsibility that we have for our own lives in that book. And the first few chapters, he's talking about taking personal responsibility. And his mentor, he said his mentor was Jim Rohn. And I know Tony Robbins' mentor was Jim Rohn as well. And Jim Rohn has had an incredible effect on hundreds of thousands of people throughout the world, and people who are very, very successful. It is because of Jim Rohn and other mentors like him. So he quotes Jim Rohn, and Jim Rohn said, the day you graduate from childhood to adulthood is the day you take responsibility for your life. And when I heard that, it just really struck a chord with me. So many times we go through life, we do it daily, we do it all the time. Just about all of us do this, and that is we don't take responsibility for certain things. And when we learn to take full responsibility 100% of the time, that's when we start to take control of our lives. No matter who's the president, no matter what the economy's like, no matter what your business is doing, no matter what is going on in your local or state or federal governments, if you take responsibility for your own life, then you will have success. And Darren Hardy talks about, he said he went when he was 18 years old, he went to some seminar, and I don't know if it was a seminar with Jim Rohn or if it was somebody else, but he said the seminar presenter was talking about marriage, and he asked the class, he said, what percentage of responsibility should you and your spouse have? And Darren thought for a second, he was 18-year-old and thought he knew everything. And he said 50-50. If each of us puts in 50%, then we're going to have a good marriage. And somebody else said 51-49, and somebody else said 80-20. And then the professor or the presenter walked up to the chalkboard, and he wrote in a big letters or numbers, he wrote 100-0, 100 to 0. You got to take 100% of the responsibility. And if you don't take 100% of the responsibility, you're going to leave your relationship up to chance. And yes, there's some rare occasions when a relationship isn't going to work, even when you take 100% of the responsibility. But how many of us actually He's still working on getting lighter, backing up. How many of us actually take 100% of the responsibility in our marriage, or in any relationship, in a business relationship, in a friendship? If we take 100% of that responsibility and don't have any expectations of the other person, that is when we're going to find the most success. And that doesn't mean 100% of the time that relationship is going to work, but probably 99% of the time it is going to work, because you are taking 100% of the responsibility. What happens is when we take full responsibility for the relationship, when we give our all and we take all responsibility, then the other person wants to give as well. It's the whole idea that when you give, you get more in return. And I think that's a law of nature, a law of God, and I believe in it. I think when you give as much as you can, you get more than that in return. And so today for Winning Wednesday, if we can all just think about taking full responsibility for our lives. Become adults, take full responsibility for our lives, stop being childish and expecting other people to make us happy and make us successful. It's up to us whether we want the relationship to work, whether we want whatever it is in our life, our business, our horsemanship, everything. If we want it to work, we should take 100% of the responsibility. And I think we're going to find much more success, much more happiness in our lives. For Winning Wednesday, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Until next time, be thankful, live with purpose, live with passion. And as always, stay safe in the saddle.